All right, welcome to Positivity is the way to go. He is a experienced broadcaster, journalist, funny, author, producer, MC, writer, drummer, baseball, impersonator, and also a columnist. Welcome my guest today, Josh Salmon. How's it going today, my friend?
Good, Dion. How are you, bud? How was your holidays?
And life been hard, man. I've been struggling to get work, man, and then I've been having issues with family, women been doing me wrong. So I just went to the dentist earlier, I got to go back later for an appointment to get some cavities taken care of next week. So it's been a lot of bad, not good lately.
Well, dang it. I'll pray things get better for you, bud.
Well, life's hard, man. The job market sucks, man.
It does. That's what I hear. I have a friend right here that's looking for something, and he didn't think he'd struggle this much to find something. But
Yeah, and also I got to make an announcement before we start. I will have content on CanTV this month on select dates. It'll be the Tanya Ty interview. So if you want to tune in to CanTV this month, it'll be on at select times. So check that out. And also breaking news: Edwin Cabrera is going to the Cubs from the Miami Marlins.
I just saw that.
They go yeah, they're gonna trade away Owen Cassie, and some more picks, but not any other top pitching prospects. So you heard it here first. Not Bleacher Nation and not none of those other.
There we go. Yeah, Cabrera's been a pretty good pitcher, although last year his ERA was like 5 or 6. It was terrible, but I think it was just a bad year. So he's still got a good arm, I think.
I think that they need to send Cal Tucker back, man. I don't know what are they doing because Cal Tucker he gonna get back on a reasonable contract. So I don't know why they wait. I don't know why they waiting around for it.
Well, what's probably going to happen with Tucker is he's probably going to take a 1 year somewhere. And I imagine Bregman might do the same thing and then hit the market again next year. Because these guys are, I'm kind of surprised these guys are still lingering out here as long as they are. I know it's
Well,
just that you're getting close to pitchers and catchers about a what, month away, 5 weeks away.
yeah, but Bregman saying a 2 year deal with opt outs, and he opted back in with the Red Sox last year. So he was there 2 years. So he
Oh, okay.
opted back in. So Cal Tucker probably could do the same thing. I think Cal Tucker should come to the Cubs. I mean, he gonna be overshadowed with the Blue Jays anyway. Might as well
Yeah.
play for the Cubs and be the star player that you need, and then you can reconcile your market because you was injured last year for the second part of the last season. So recoup your market, go back to a place go there for a year or two, have some opt-outs, and then go from there.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I agree. He's probably going to want one of the bigger teams, unfortunately. I was kind of surprised that the Blue Jays got Yakamoto, and only 60 million too for 4 years. I thought that was a pretty good deal.
Well, they Japanese players, man. They not in the ballpark of Yamamoto with the Dodgers or Otani. They gonna make an
Well,
impact, but not like them though.
yeah, I would like. I mean, obviously, I was hoping Okamoto would go to San Diego, but that didn't happen. At least he didn't go to the Dodgers. I'm fine with that. If he wants to go to Blue Jays, that's fine. If the other guy go to the
Well,
Astros, that's fine.
well,
Dodgers
we
did.
already know what the outcome gonna be next season in baseball. The Dodgers are gonna win again. I mean, they
I
just
hope.
got Edwin Diaz. They just got Edwin Diaz, one of the best closers in baseball.
Yeah, they had a
So,
lot more holes in their bullpen though than just the end of the bullpen though from last
well,
year.
yeah, they got Tanner Scott, man. They got so many arms, man. They got Phillips. They got Gosselin over there, Tony Gosselin. He coming out the bullpen. So I think the Dodgers will win again. It's gonna be I think a three-peat, right?
I hope not. As a Padre fan, I really, really hope not.
It
I,
will, Josh. They the nice empire though. They not the evil empire though. They're a tough
um,
team not to like, man.
for me, it's as far as the hatred goes. It goes Dodgers, Yankees right below them, and then everybody else. It's fine, but
Yeah,
I
well,
really
you
don't
you
want.
just don't like winning, man. That's like with Kansas City Dynasty over. They didn't want them to win no more, and now they're not gonna be winning. And people was happy but now sometimes parity could be a good thing or a bad thing in sports. because we always need a villain, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
They
look at the
always
whole
bring.
six peats. I mean, they won six championships. So
Oklahoma softball won 4 championships in a row. So
wow.
them they teams that's a part of sports. You know what I'm mad about though? What's up with these high school teams, Josh, not being good at basketball and lose to inferior competition? Like my nephew team, they lost to a team that was 1-8, and they lost to a team that was 6-7. I get they was on a roll, but shouldn't you beat these teams? You got more talent than them, even at a high school level.
Yeah. What's been happening here in Nebraska is there's this team out by Omaha that was bringing kids in from Kansas just for the year, just to play football, and they were I mean, they had to be one of the best teams in all the country. And these kids supposedly live here now just for 1 year. You'll never see them again. They played 1 year, got the championship, just dominant. I mean, there was teams forfeiting. They didn't even want to play them. They were so good. They went to the championship game and beat the team by like 45 points in the championship. And the team they beat was really good. But I'm like, they're not breaking any rules, but there needs to be a rule set here to do that. I mean, you have to. They're bringing guys in from Iowa, from Kansas, all over, and supposedly they live here. Well, the school helps them find a house to stay in the meantime, and it's kind of a fine line. I mean, they didn't break any rules, but it's not fair at all.
Well, yeah, but they do that at IMG Academy. They always take quarterbacks and they take people from Illinois or Florida,
Right. Well, this
and
is
and they sign them for football. That's why they always good in football.
right.
But
Yeah.
I just don't understand why my nephew why they lose to inferior competition when majority of these kids is not going to even be in college. They just having fun. I mean, you should beat these people. I get it's sports and everything, but you should not be losing to people that are going to be astronauts in NASA
Yeah.
or accounts at IMB or something, or Deloitte.
Yeah. That comes back on the coach for me. I mean, you got guys that either don't want to play or don't want to play for that coach, and that's what it's all in their head right now. Okay, so maybe they're talented players, but they don't want to play for whatever reason. That's what that tells me.
So you think because the thing is, it's my nephew last season. I know he gonna be in the NBA and stuff. I believe in this talent, but this is same year he want to win something, man.
I don't know what the deal. Maybe his focus is more on basketball than football. I don't know.
Now he play basketball. Yeah, he ain't playing football, man. I would
Oh,
not
okay.
recommend playing football because you'll get broke up, man.
Yeah, we have a
So
hard
what?
time. Schools around here, high school teams that like we have one of our major high schools has over 1,000 kids, and they can't field a girls basketball team for the second year in a row. It's because
What?
volleyball are doing club ball at this time, or the wrestling. They have a really good girls wrestling program, but they can't field a girls varsity basketball team.
Well, yeah, because don't nobody want to play. That's the problem.
Yeah, they want to play club volleyball. That's where their focus is at, and
Well,
not play.
yeah, well, you may have to go to different states like you were talking about. They may have to go to Minnesota or somewhere or Iowa and get people to play.
Yeah, it's hard to bring them to central Nebraska though. There's not much here. It's easier when you're on Omaha, Lincoln. You got stuff on the outside.
The Nebraska Cornhuskers in big trouble though, man. Matt Rule, Dylan Raiola is in the portal. What's up with the transfer portal, man? I just get so tired of, the transfer portal is out of control.
Well,
You
I want
you
to get
you
your
see what?
and for me it's NIL because there was that guy from Detroit, from the Notre Dame the other day that wanted to be a Husker, and then one day later he decommitted. He
Oh
didn't.
yeah, Minchie, yeah, Minchie.
They're offering him more NIL at somewhere else, and so
At Kentucky, yeah, he went to the University of Kentucky.
to
But
me, you should either get NIL or you should get scholarships. You should get one or the other. You're already getting free education. Why should you get paid on top of that? Work a job like the rest of the kids that had to. If you want the NIL, that's fine, but pay for your own education. There's plenty of kids
yeah,
that are that aren't athletes that take the great. Honestly, a lot of those football players are not very smart. I'm going to tell you right now. They have somebody that does
well,
the. I know my friends went to high school with a lot of those championship Husker guys, and they had tutors that did all the work for them. Um, but they're there to play football. So to me, you either get paid for playing, or do your NIL thing. That's fine, or you get paid, for your scholarship. They said, well, you use name, likeness, and everything. Well, that's fine. That's part of your scholarship. When they're giving you a free education, and they can use your likeness any way they want. That's the way it's always been. But now they said, oh, I need paid for it too. It doesn't make sense to
You
me.
know what's crazy? Texas Tech, they spent $25 million on their roster last year, and then they just paid the quarterback. They gave him $5 million, and they gave the defensive lineman $3.5 million. So they spent eight. They spent $9 million on two players in the portal.
And the kids are probably 19, 20 years old, and they're probably never going to the NFL, you know? But it doesn't make any sense to me. And they get free education. And I guarantee they're not
Well,
doing more in school. So
well, clearly it ain't working because Texas Tech they got the doors blown off, and they lost 23-0 to Oregon. So
yeah.
clearly it ain't working. All the money you spent, and that's like the Cowboys. You get nothing.
Yeah, they're there to play football. They don't care less about their studies or anything else, and they're on
Well,
free education.
with Derrick Rose and the University of Memphis, they was doing his work and everything. They was actually taking his classes, taking his tests, while he doesn't worry about basketball.
Patrick Ewing, remember Patrick Ewing? He lettered in college in like basket weaving or something. He knew he was going to the NBA, so he figured, why waste my time doing any hard classes? So he took it was like basket weaving or crafts or something was his major in college because he knew he would get drafted in the NBA. But he didn't get NIL. He got a free education. I'm fine with the free education for playing sports. That's great, but you shouldn't get paid on top of that.
Well,
Get it?
they had that Supreme Court ruling that they fought for from UCLA and stuff for years, and they ain't student athletes no more. They basically like free agents now. They always on like they be on like Northwestern. They be talking about, oh yeah, this person signed with Northwestern. Northwestern got this player, or Purdue got this player. They basically doing the same thing like the other sports doing.
Well, and the tough part is too. Okay, so you get NIL, so then figure all the people here and all the logos that had Dylan Raiola's name on it, all the things like that. Now all those are nil and void because he's going to another school. So now, it's hard to follow a team anymore because so many players transfer. It's the portal was a terrible mistake for the NCAA.
Well, I think Dylan Raiola may go to Oregon, man, because Sam Levitt going to LSU probably. So Dylan
Yeah, you can do
Raiola gonna have to go in the
it.
Big Ten.
Raiola was overrated anyway, so he can do what he wants.
Well, they think he the baby Mahomes. That's why everybody because they think he like Mahomes. The way he throw the ball, the height, and
Yeah,
that's
but
why
he
they hype
hurt
him up so much.
second. And it helped. It didn't help that he didn't have a good offensive line. But guess who his offensive line coordinator was? His uncle, who got fired. How did that work out? Well, he got his torn ACL because his uncle didn't have a good defensive line, and so they fired his uncle. So then he decided, well, I'm leaving too.
And
So
now his brother not going there neither. He decommitted because he was a three-star at Grayson in Georgia. So now they gonna probably go to the same school, maybe at Oregon somewhere.
yeah, it kind of ticked me off that Emmett Johnson didn't play for the Huskers in the bowl game, especially with Raiola not playing. Latif is not a bad quarterback, but he's a freshman. He has very little playing experience this year. You have one of the best running backs in the country, who's at the game watching. You know, put a uniform on and play with your team. I know you're going to go in the NBA draft, but at least you know play for the team that drafted, that gave you this opportunity. That no, no, I'm not going to play. He just sits there and watches the game. And of course, they get annihilated and they have no running game. It's like, well,
Well, yeah,
that's not.
against Utah, yeah. Yeah, man, it was 40 to like 20, man. The game was already over with in like the
Right.
second quarter.
It wouldn't have been. Huskers might have had a chance to win that because he's such a good running back. But he
I
said, "No, I'm
think
not going to." So he basically just threw in the towel.
I think that's so bad for teammates that you quit on your team and stuff. When they
Yeah,
out there fighting all week to week and you out there doing that to your teammates. I think that is bad leadership. I wouldn't draft anybody like that at all because character matters at the end of the day too, especially with sports character. And if
yep,
you're gonna quit on your team when they need you, why would I draft you as an NFL general manager?
I agree.
Because that's a loser mentality, man.
Yeah,
And
I
he
could have at
getting
least
paid. They
played
paying
for.
him too.
Yeah,
So he getting paid and he just basically sitting out low management.
yeah. I don't know. College football has a lot of things that's going to go wrong, and it's just going to continue to go wrong because there's that transfer portal and the NIL thing is just going to ruin the sport. Is what's
Well,
happening.
Well, they don't got nobody running the stuff, like that's why Nick Saban left the college football because he couldn't handle it. And Mike Krzyzewski left from Duke because they
Yeah.
they don't like NIL. They couldn't handle it, all this movement. It's like people want to start and everything. Like, what happens to sticking it out and fighting through it? Even if you may not be the starter.
Well, yeah, and especially like a quarterback. Okay, let's say they establish your offense around you. You know, it's kind of built around if you're a throwing quarterback, running quarterback, and you decide, okay, now I'm going to transfer. Now they got to completely do the whole. Let's say they get another quarterback in who's not just like you, which probably will happen. Now they got to reconfigure the whole offense and all the plays and stuff because you're not there, and so you're really sticking it to your old team.
Yeah. Do you keep up with the NFL, Josh?
A little bit.
What do you think about what's going on with the playoffs and all the parity going on right now? With
It's
no
interesting.
Mahomes.
I'm a Chiefs fan, and we've had a good run, and it just wasn't their year. I mean, they didn't have a good offense, they didn't have a good defense, but maybe this is the year for the Buffalo Bills. I'm supposed to hate the Bills because I like the Chiefs, but the Bills are a good team. They've always been a good team. Maybe this is the year they do stuff. Um, I'm not a Broncos fan. I've never been a Broncos fan. It's cool to see Pittsburgh, do what they do, that kind of thing. So I'd like to see some new blood in there. Yeah, I mean, obviously my Chiefs didn't make it, so I'm fine with somebody else. I'm not a big 49ers fan, but I'd be fine with if the Bills won it all. I mean, they've had some good seasons over the years.
Yeah, but I don't think the Bills gonna win it all. I think it's gonna be between the Broncos and the Patriots gonna be in the Super Bowl for the AFC. The Jaguars are a dark horse. I don't think Buffalo gonna make it because they can't stop the running game, man. And Jacksonville Jaguars gonna run the ball over them. And then they defense bad.
Yeah, Jacksonville's pretty good this year. They can do a lot of
Oh
things
yeah.
right.
I think Jacksonville is going to blow. I think they're not going to blow out the Bills, but I think they're going to win the game though. In my opinion, if the Bills win, they will. They're going to run. They're going to have to. Their offense is going to be able to be their defense basically in the game because their
Sure.
defense is not good. So
Yeah.
they're going to have to. They're going to have to play possession and get control of the game by keeping the ball
Yeah,
because
they
they're
have to
not going to be
play
able to stop Jacksonville from running the ball.
right. Yeah. Yeah, Jacksonville, when I saw this year when they played Kansas City, I was pretty impressed. I mean, that's a good team. They can do a lot of things.
Well, Trevor Lawrence was always someone that he doesn't need a coach, man. Liam Cohen have unlocked that. He did the same thing with Baker Mayfield, and he did the same thing with Bryce Young and everything. So he like a quarterback whisperer, man. He know how to do a good job with quarterbacks. I mean, Trevor Lawrence better than Baker Mayfield and he got more talent than Baker Mayfield and Bryce Young.
Right. I remember back in the day when I was in college, Mark Brunell was a quarterback of the Jaguars. I kind of followed them a little bit then, and he was a good quarterback too. That was kind of a fun team.
Yeah, but they got to the AFC Championship game with Blake Bortles. I mean, if you get to the championship game with Blake Bortles, the AFC Championship game, you get to the championship game with Trevor Lawrence this year.
Oh yeah. Yeah, good point.
So, Josh, what happened to the world, man, and society, man? Like, what happened to the accountability, respect, man, and love, man? It's like, retail awful. I was in Jewels. And this Indian dude was standing over me and stuff, while I'm in the store being racist towards me. And then this other lady, I'm in Jewels, and she giving me a hard time, like my app don't work. So they don't want to help me. What's up with these people not accountable and they get paid to do a job and they don't do it? It's sad.
Yeah. Then that's been going on a long time. Not necessarily the racist part, but the people that don't do their job. I mean, every job I've ever had, there's been 4 or 5 people that make a lot more money than me at that job that don't do anything all day long, and they get promoted and they get whatever. But yeah, it's there's no work ethic anymore in a lot of places. And I like when you go into a place, I don't like when you go into a place and you ask them for help with something and then they act like you're inconveniencing them. Oh, sorry, you have to, get off your butt and help me. This is your job. This is why you're here. You know, I mean,
Yeah, I feel like a burden sometimes when I'm asking for help, man. I feel like, oh yeah, I need help again. It's like you get paid. It's like you it's like if you go to a basketball game and people paying their money to see Anthony Cupo play and stuff, and he out, you know. That's heartbreaking. It's like I spent my money to see him play against the Bulls, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Like
People don't want to. A lot of people.
you spending your money at the store, so you should get exceptional customer service, you
Definitely.
know.
Yeah. I there's almost every day I buy something and nobody tells me thank you, have a good day. I mean, rarely does that happen anymore. I look at them and
Well,
then I
they
say, and they go, yep. And I'm like, why am I thanking you? I just spent my money at your store. I shouldn't have to thank you.
they don't got God, man. That's the biggest thing. The people that got the Lord, you know, they get the most problems on this earth. Good people that's trying to make the world better. People that ain't trying to make the world better, they got life easy on earth, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree. You struggle when you follow God. You do, but I mean, that's the way that you're doing it right.
Yeah, well, that's why most godly people I know they single and alone. Like me, I'm still single and stuff. You know, don't nobody want to deal with people that's trying to make the world better because you gonna bring change in somebody's life for the better that you marrying or dating and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
you gonna be different from what they normally have gotten in the world. You know, all the people that they have met.
Well, and I know a lot of people that got married, young and had kids and families and were married 13, 14 years and gotten divorced since. And so, I mean, there's no
And
rush.
now,
I was
and,
single before I got married, so.
and now they crying to you, Josh. They like, man, our marriage falling apart. You know, you got to be a therapist now.
Well, most of them are doing okay. It's usually the two close guys of mine that got divorced. Their wives decided they wanted divorce and they left, and so the guys are doing.
Dang.
They have neither one of them have any desire to ever, I mean, even date or anything. They're just enjoying their kids and their single life.
Oh, that sucks, man, you know. Well, it's good to see they doing good, man.
Yeah, yeah, they're doing all right. And their kids are turning out really good. So, they're learning from it too.
What's wrong with these like journalists like Matt Ryan? He may be the president of the Falcons and stuff, you know, and Tom Brady. What's going on? What do you think about owner like also broadcasting football games? You think that that's right or wrong?
Yeah, I don't think, especially their own, they shouldn't do. Oops, my calendar. Yeah, it's former athletes. It's different when you broadcast that kind of thing. I don't think owners necessarily should broadcast. It's kind of a fine line there. Conflict of interest is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, I don't think owners should be able to broadcast just like coaches shouldn't be able to. I mean, sometimes players will jump on during an All-Star game or something. That's fine, but former players, yeah, you can broadcast whatever. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, but they're former athletes. So unfortunately, they're going to get a job over guys like me who have been broadcasting for 25 years. They say, "Oh, you used to play the game. You know nothing about broadcasting. We'll give you the job instead because you're a former athlete." And they'll bring years.
Well, yeah, cause Tom Brady making 10 years, $300 million. He made 30 million a year. That's broadcast football games.
Right.
Crazy, ain't
Yeah, there's some that are really good analysts, and there's some that aren't. And there's
it?
broadcasters. I don't. There's broadcasters that I don't like at all that people think are just amazing, and I just think they're not very good. But
Some people say that Al Michaels need to retire, and Kurt Herbstreit don't need to be doing NFL games.
yeah, I'm not a Joe Buck fan. I know he just got put in the Hall of Fame, but I think he's a homer. He's going to go for whatever team's winning. You know, and whether he'll switch in the middle of the game. Even I remember the World Series in 2015 when it was the Royals and the Mets, and he was all about the Mets. Everything was Mets, 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 because it's a big city. He's not going to cheer for the Midwest team. And then guess what? The Padres or the Royals won that game. And then as soon as the momentum started going to Kansas City. Then he's talking about Kansas City. Oh, they're a good team, and yeah. For the first 5 innings of this game, you were all about New York, and now the momentum switched. Now you're switching. So that's Joe Buck for you.
Yeah, his father was he did the Cardinals broadcast in your team, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack Buck.
Rico's fantastic. I think he's good at what he does. There's a lot of guys that are very good. I like Boog Sciambi there in Chicago for the
Oh
Cubs.
yeah, man, boo, yeah, yeah. He just did the Kansas TCU basketball game on ESPN last night.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that are very good, and there's some that aren't, but that's just the way it goes.
So what do you think about baseball right now, man? And where it's going, man, with like the guaranteed with the no salary cap, man. What do you think about like what's gonna happen this year with all the player movement, you know?
Well, and I think back to the strikes before. I think there's going to be another labor union strike, whatever you want to call it. I don't know how soon, but I think it's going to happen. And whether you blame the owners, or they blame the people say, oh, well, these owners like the Pirates and stuff need to spend more money. Well, okay, possibly, but I think there's also teams that spend way too much money, and other small market teams can't catch up to them. I mean, they just don't physically have that much money. Look at NBA, look at NHL, look at all the other pro teams, NFL. There's salary caps. Only teams, yes, there's luxury taxes, but there's only so much money you can spend, and that's it before you start getting. And so I think baseball needs to do that because it's just going to keep getting out of hand. You're going to keep seeing these small teams. They're either going to relocate or lose their fan base. You're going to have teams like the Dodgers who have defer money for 40 years, and there's just money's no object to teams like that. And then there's the teams like the Pirates and the Oakland A's who are trying to get something going. Yes, they have some money. They're probably not spending as much, but I guarantee the Pirates don't have as much money as the owner of the Dodgers does. And so people are like, well, if it comes back on the owners, well, not necessarily, because I mean, I don't make as much money as maybe somebody else in broadcasting, but I'm also not going to spend more money than I make on, so it's the same kind of thing. If you're not generating audience, so I think there needs to be a salary cap in
Well,
baseball.
I think that Pittsburgh, I think Paul Skeens need to go to a bigger market, and I think Bryce Hart may punch you if you say a salary cap, like when he had me with Rod Manfred and stuff, and he told him get out of our locker room when he brought up a salary cap. So you offend Bryce Hart with that salary cap comment, Josh, because he
Yeah,
don't want to hear, you know.
and go back to the respect thing. Yeah, you may want to hear that from that guy, but he's also the commissioner of the league and has a lot of power.
Yeah.
So you got to remember where your butter is bred.
Bryce
You know,
Harper didn't care though, man, when he made that comment. Like the whole media was talking about a partner interruption. You had Michael Wilbon and stuff, you know. He
yeah,
said, get the you know what out of our locker room.
right. I heard about it. Yeah, but and I don't really like Manfred, but I don't think that's the way to handle it. I mean, that's not the mature way to do it. Just like we
Yeah, I don't think the players gonna agree with getting the salary cap though. I think they're gonna vote no.
because that's like taking money away. I mean, but I mean, you figure this out. People make and so look at a pitcher. You're paying a pitcher 100 and what did Dylan Cease just get? $400 million or something. He plays every
No, he got 210 million 7 years.
so yeah, and he's a strikeout guy and he doesn't miss many games, but he only pitches every 5 days. So I mean, figure that out. He's getting as much. There's position players that play every single day that play almost every game all year, and they don't get that much money. And he pitches every 5 days. Yes, he's a pitcher, but he's probably going to go more than 5 innings in any game because they can't allow that anymore. And yeah,
What,
I think it's ridiculous. I mean, they get $20-30 million for throwing a baseball. If I could throw a baseball like they could, I would go out for the money I make right now in my job and go play for the love of the game.
well,
I
I
would
think
kill,
Dylan Cease,
you know.
I think Dylan Cease got overpaid anyway though, Josh. You know, he ain't worth all that money though, you know.
He's a good strikeout guy, but I saw him in the Padres last year, and he had over five. I mean, he'd be good for 3 innings, and then you never knew what happened after that. Good bag
Well,
of the egg.
yeah, man. Well,
Yeah,
y'all made a good investment, but y'all sent Michael King back, so that was an underrated signing. You know, if he healthy, you know, because he was hurt
well,
last year a lot.
he opts out. So I mean, this year he could do 2026, and he can opt out at the end or take more money, and stay. So that's up to him. It's a pretty good contract. I kind of like the way they structured it, and I'm welcoming back. I mean, yeah, he did a good job for us.
I think the Padres gonna be battling for a wild card spot again. I think the Dodgers are gonna win the division because they're clearly more talented than the Giants, the D-backs, you know, and the Padres. Well, I think the other teams will battle for second place, third place, you know, to get in the wild card, the playoffs, as it stands right now on paper.
Right. Well, and a lot of it comes down to you can say what you want about salary. A lot of it comes down to talent, and obviously talent is going to cost more. But I mean, just say in a fantasy world that the Dodgers, the Giants, hell, even the Rockies, Padres and the Diamondbacks. Let's say just that Western Division. Let's say they all had the exact same amount of payroll. Okay, the all exact same amount of payroll. It comes down to your talent and your coaching, and who do you have on your team? Yes, you may have a guy that makes $30 million. You may have another guy that makes $2 million, but that $2 million guy may contribute in ways that the $30 million guy is not. He may do the sacrifice bunt. Not worried about his batting average, not worried about his stats. The $30 million guy is going to swing for the fence every time because he wants a bigger contract. So that's where the salary cap comes in too. Okay, yeah, a guy might not try as hard, but another guy might make some more money up. Yes, players will never go for it because nobody wants to make less money, but it's just the way it's going to be. Yeah, I don't think salary cap will happen in baseball, but it's happened in every other sport, so I don't understand why they can't get it going in this one.
Well, sometimes we pick arguments and we argue about stuff that ain't gonna never change. That's like the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones ain't gonna never stop
No.
being the owner and the general manager. But we
Yeah,
always complain every year in the media. They like, he if he gave away that title, the team made better decisions.
yeah. Well, it hasn't worked out for him the last 10 years, so maybe
Yeah.
maybe go a different way. But
Yeah, so let's do some imitation. You got some new imitations by me, Josh, man. You've been working in the lab, man.
just pretty much ones I don't want to have. I done Beavis and Butthead on here. I've done I could do Harry Carey. Um, yeah, I haven't really worked on any new ones, but
Oh, come on, Josh. And what's up with the Three Stooges picture, man? I'm a big fan of the Three Stooges when they be hitting each other upside the head, man.
oh, I've always been a fan of Stooges. Love the Stooges.
Yeah, you still watch them? Well, I don't know why they don't come out with a new series, man. They've been having all these other new series coming out right now, man.
I hate reboots. It ruins everything. Leave it the way it is. It's
Yeah,
classic to the 30s and 40s when
well, they just had a reboot for King of the Hill on Hulu right now. Come on, Josh.
it
We gonna
rebooted.
kill these dreams. Yeah.
I used to love Fresh Prince, but they rebooted it, and so now this generation's gonna think, "Oh yeah, Bel Air." That's normal. It's not the same thing as Fresh Prince. That show was hilarious when it was on. This
Well,
one's more.
give us some Harry Carey, man, with the baseball season coming up. Josh,
Okay. All right. Hey, hey, baseball fans, we're ready to go here. Harry Carey from Wrigley Field we're getting set for another game between the Chicago Cubs and the Jerusalem Giants. Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. The San Francisco Giants. That's right. I've had too many Budweisers today. Rick Sutcliffe's going to take the hill, even though he's 205 years old. He's still got a good forkball. Hey, my last name is Salmon, so if you spell that backwards, it's Nomlos. Go Cubbies!
well, Josh, it was a pleasure having you on today, man, and always good to see you, man.
Yeah, keep the chin up on the job thing. Something will come up, man.
Okay, appreciate it, man. That's why I like having you on, man. Mr. Positivity, man.
I try. I've had a lot of things in my life. I talked to somebody about this the other day. A lot of things that have, in broadcasting, I've been kicked to the curb many, many times, and I've gotten back up. Many. I don't know why I keep doing it, but I keep getting back up. And so just hang in there.
Well, you a fighter, man. You like you get hit, you get knocked down, but guess what? You come back and you knock them out, and you win the fight.
Trying. Hey, I'm teaching a class this spring too. I'm going to teach my first college class, so that's a new adventure for me.
Professor Salmon, wow.
Well, it's a 2 hour class, 6 weeks, one night a week, and it's just going to teach podcasting, actually. Basic podcasting, recording, interviewing.
Man, I wish I was in that. I wish I was in that class. I'll be asking questions every second, Josh. I'm like, so what about this? What about this? What about this?
I'll get
And
there.
Josh was like, you got to get on my class. You talking too much.
No. I want questions, so that's good. That means they're paying attention.